Welcome to 2026, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, we are coming back. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking last time the boys took a break. Last time they had a Christmas, they didn't come back for 6 months. But this time, I promise you, on whatever remaining hair I have left on my head, we're doing it. We're coming back. We are coming back on I didn't check the calendar, so I can't tell you. But it's going to be within the first 2 months of the year. That is a Murray guarantee. But in order to do this, in order for us to come out the gate strong, in order for us to release weekly, that's right, ladies and gentlemen, we're coming back weekly. We're going to need a little bit of extra leeway time. So we're sending out the gates 3 weeks of an old episode. This one is a classic. It's one of our favorites. We talk about it a lot on the podcast, and if you haven't heard it, you're in for a treat. It involves spoiler apology.
This is Scripty Business, the made-up show of made-up movies. We have 3 episodes to make a movie out of 3 random words, but each episode, we add a random film element into the mix by spinning our dreaded Wheel of Doom. Each word, each element must carry through to the final movie pitch. It's chaos, it's risky, it's Scripty Business.
This is such an insane movie with so many layers now.
Oh! He's on fire!
Can I offer you a slight alternative?
Oh my Christ. Okay,
Akira, good enough.
Yes! Turning on like a red light. And we are back, episode 3 of our Home of the Brave arc. That title is still kick-ass. We have opinion, fault, president as the 3 words. We made a fantastic political movie around that. Then we spun the Wheel of Doom and got freaking zombies. And by some miracle, we made it happen. I am Welshie. With me is Murray. And we're both, I speak for both of us, we're both very pumped to finish this off, I believe, at this stage.
Oh my god, so good.
Oh, so pumped.
I just want to give a shout out to previous us. On our wheel, we often have like lots of words to be like, it's set in space, or like, but this was just one word in capitals.
Just zombies? Yeah, actually, we could have taken that any which way, really. We kind of embraced it. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. We could have just had a zombie movie featuring the movie.
Dude, we could have just been the themes that we are like zombies when we plug into social media.
Oh, man. You know what? No.
The film was there.
I applaud past us for doing what we did and taking the challenging route, okay? This is not
Absolutely.
a lazy podcast. We put a lot of work in. This is hard work, believe me, so just saying. All right. Final part. We have 30 minutes to put everything together. This is the chance to do our ABC plot lines and to also wreck shop by spinning the wheel again. And I'm terrified.
That's a great term, and I want to keep it.
What, wreck shop?
Yep.
That's a t-shirt. Put on a t-shirt.
Put on a t-shirt. It's not a workshop, it's a wreck shop. We're going to ruin everything we've just done.
Yep, like a bull in a glass shop. We're going to destroy...
Depends on what kind of glass. That bull might get wrecked.
That's true. Like we're about to when we spin the wheel. Murray, before I spin it, is there anything in particular that you would just die if it came up? Like, is there anything in particular that you would freak out for? I think if this was a musical right now, I think it's game over from my side.
I actually don't remember what's on the wheel other than it's a Godzilla film.
Oh yeah, you love that one.
It's a James Bond film. They're the only 2 ones that I remember.
I forgot it could be a James Bond movie and a zombie movie.
But with zombies.
Oh, that'd be sick. All right, you've got my hopes up. Time to spin the wheel.
Now, your team.
God.
It happened! The worst thing in the world happened!
This is my fault. I summoned this. I made this happen.
Alright, let's start the timer because the audience doesn't know yet. It's now a Godzilla movie! Off we go. Oh my Christ. Okay, simple thing here is what if we manipulate it so the zombies and Godzilla, it's one in the set. No, it's zombies. I was going to say people are infected and they're turning into Godzillas rather than turning into zombies.
I mean, that's kind of funny.
Oh, what if Godzilla is the solution to the zombie outbreak? What if, like, the only way that they can get rid of, you know, New York City and the island itself is to summon Godzilla, and then there's like some sort of treaty with Japan to awaken him because he's frozen at the bottom of the ocean. I know that happens in some of the movies, is how they deal with him.
Hang on.
Just blah.
I like what you're saying. I think it's very interesting if Godzilla is the solution somehow. This is such an insane movie with so many layers now because it has to go from presidency, crisis, singing during said crisis, zombie. Everybody's focusing on the zombie, but the actual solution is Godzilla. Godzilla has to come in somehow. But okay, what if Godzilla's blood has anti-zombie properties? and they're making like a vaccine out of Godzilla's blood, which the public loses their mind over. Because one, it's a vaccine, and we're all living in a post-COVID world. We know what happens when you try to release a vaccine into the public. Mm-hmm. That is, unvetted, unsubstantiated, hasn't had years of trials, blah, 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 blah. And even worse, it's coming from a monster that destroyed Japan not only a decade ago.
Oh, I love it. I love it so much, but the question there is, right, I'm sure that you're okay with us saying he's frozen at the bottom of the oceans. There was a recovery made, a submersible. James Cameron went down in a submarine and got Godzilla in his frozen body. They would have to defrost him to some extent in order to get the blood samples, I want to say, right? So there's a risk element there that he has to be not awake, but close enough to awake. Are we going to have Godzilla wake up and wreak havoc?
It's a Godzilla movie. Like, we're gonna
we have to,
it'd be
right?
insane not to, right?
Shit. Okay, so this means that all the zombie noise gets compiled into one act of this movie.
Oh,
and the rest of the movie is a Godzilla movie.
Have you seen the, Godzilla X Kong one where they go down under Hollow Earth and there's, another Hollow Earth and there's, the monkey and the other Godzilla and it's, just, the most insane plot you've ever... This is what we're going to have to do, right?
Yeah. This isn't so far-fetched now because of Godzilla Kong. This is within the realms of reality.
They paved the way for this film to happen.
Yes! Oh my Christ. Okay. I think that, everything we've done still stands, except...
It still stands. Okay.
The zombies are all part one.
Okay. Let me do a quick summary. President. New first female president ever. This is a monumentous part for America, is solidifying her political campaign so that she can make substantial changes to the American law, and sings during a viral outbreak which she thinks is a riot. She gets taken away. She tries to solve this political nightmare while the whole nation is burning her to the ground. At the same time, oh god, have we had zombies before? How do they know that it's Godzilla's blood? Was that for some reason we know it's Godzilla's blood, right? And then
I've got the solution to that.
In the second act, the focus becomes less about the president and more about I think it's still a crash style film. We're still following a bunch of people because we have to keep that. So some of the people, now it's Brittany and Bruce are not on the ground anymore in the viral place. They are going to Japan.
What if they're researchers in Japan already working on samples from when Godzilla was defeated last time? And they figure it out.
A different group, yes. But so Bruce, Brittany, and Charlie all go to Japan on a political mission to gain some of the blood and the research that they've been doing and the healing properties that it has, so that they can experiment on some of the virus. But in order to do that, here's the crazy part, terrifying. In order to do that, they have to make a political trade with Japan and give them a bioweapon, right? They give them some of this virus that they've extracted from the zombies. So they're trading a bioweapon for the cure. So Japan gets a bioweapon that they will work on in secret, a la pre-World War II. And we get some of Godzilla's super blood. I say we, I mean America. Australia's got nothing to do with this. We're down the bottom of the world being like, y'all crazy.
Okay. Okay, hear me out. This is gonna get batshit crazy. Okay? I'm fine with where you've gone with this.
Because it's still a political movie. Don't forget, it's still a political movie.
It is still a political movie. So as long as we have enough politics in there, I'm sold. But I do need to press this button right here.
Oh my god.
So, all of that happens, right? And they give the biohazard sample to Japan. They exchange the blood. It turns out that they've not actually sent Godzilla to the bottom of the ocean. They're keeping him sedated, and they've been running because they couldn't defeat him, but they managed to capture him and put him in a state of hibernation, right? So Japan have been working on ways to utilize Godzilla's parts and also exterminate him if it should happen, like how Batman has bloody kryptonite in case Superman goes crazy, right? So they exchange the samples, then they go back over to the States to start trying to develop the vaccine, which pisses off all of America. Japan tests the sample of the virus on Godzilla, and it causes a reaction in Godzilla that wakes him up. So now we have our Godzilla movie where Godzilla is on a rampage, and it could be something as ridiculous as he's connected to that virus now, so he knows where it is and he needs to go and, like, efface it. I love the idea that while our president is going to Japan to do this, the Democrats, or the Republicans, whichever the opposition is of her...
Republicans, yeah.
are making their own super militarized weapon to defeat the entire city-state of New York and wipe it off the face of the earth. Yep. But also, as a sign of force, they've heard about Japan's troubles with Godzilla in the past. What better to protect them against the threat of Godzilla and overseas threats than their own Mecha Godzilla, which can also take out the zombies. So now we have a Mecha Godzilla in the States. Then we have Godzilla swimming over from Japan to eradicate the zombies because it's pissed him off. And now we have this, like, huge conflict at New York between Mechagodzilla and Godzilla. Only one can stand. I think it's stupid, but I think it would be awesome at the same time. And you've got, like, picture, like, swarms of, like, zombies, like, running up, like, Godzilla's leg and attacking him. And he's like, ah! And, like, throwing them off his legs and, like...
Yeah. Definitely. I have a big question for you.
Why are we here? Does God exist? What is the meaning of life? This is another big question.
What is the purpose of Mechagodzilla in this plot? What is his purpose? Why not just drop a bomb on New York? Why use Mechagodzilla?
What if they've always had it there in development? Because when Godzilla first came about in Japan, and the way that the news worked and political bullshittery, they assumed that Godzilla was actually a weapon that Japan had devised. So America, in response, developed their own version of that.
Okay, so
right?
it's like it was an arms race.
It was an arms race. 100% is an arms race. And maybe, like, whoever's in charge on the opposition, for whatever reason, deems that the only thing big enough to deal with this zombie plague is to use the weapon that they've had there in storage for 3 decades. It's like, why don't we just use this? And it just coincidentally happens. Go.
I understand. Go. Okay.
It's kind of fun.
The film opens on the singing. That all happens. I actually think we need an exposition dump because we're now in Godzilla territory. We're going to have massive exposition dumps because we want all, like, fight scenes and stuff. So we have this big expedition dump about the original Godzilla being, destroying Japan, and then rumors, like, of America developing an anti-Godzilla super weapon that were never substantiated, whatever. And then we go on with the rest of the film. The trade happens in Japan. We come back to the people come back to America to fix the virus Japan.
Japan.
So much
Why'd you
happening.
say it like that?
Because I'm tripping over my own words. Japan insert the virus into Godzilla, wake him up, give him some kind of extra power because Godzilla. Godzilla goes, I don't like this virus. I'm going to destroy it. He starts swimming towards America. America panics and goes, oh my God, Japan's gone back on their deal. They've sent their super death weapon to the States because he's swimming towards the States. Then they, in response, go, we have to release Mecha Godzilla or Godzilla will destroy all of America. Then they release Mecha Godzilla to kill Godzilla, but Godzilla is coming to New York to kill the virus. Maybe there's like a central zombie. Maybe there's like a super zombie.
Like a hive mind?
Like a hive mind or something, yeah.
Okay, because I was just doing some digging, and there is a Godzilla monster called Bacillus. That's a bacteria monster that can infect things.
King of the snakes.
Bacillus, yep. So that, why don't we just have that be the thing that causes the outbreak?
Great. Perfect.
So when
it's a Godzilla movie.
When that is introduced to Godzilla, that's why it wakes him up. Because he's like, my old nemesis.
Yes. Okay,
a spore.
so Godzilla comes to New York. Is it Basilisk?
It's Bacillus.
Oh, okay.
In Japanese, it is Bachirusu.
I was thinking Basilisk as in King of the Snakes, but no. Okay. So that's Basilisk? I don't know how to pronounce that.
Yeah, basically basilisk. Yeah, that's what you're thinking of as a basilisk. This is not a basilisk or basilisk.
Okay, so Godzilla comes to kill Basilisk. Basilisk and Godzilla will soon clash. America panics and releases Mecha Godzilla. So it's actually Godzilla versus Basilisk and Mecha Godzilla at the same time. And New York, unfortunately, just has to die.
Oh well, I kind of like the idea that like people don't even know that it's Bacillus that's doing this. Maybe they've uncovered like a root or something underground. It's one of its tentacles, and they're doing research on it. So Godzilla's coming because he knows that's there. Nobody knows it's there. He's fighting Mecha Godzilla, and then Bacillus like comes up out of the ground. And all the zombies start swarming Godzilla. And then we have, like, America trying to shoot the zombies off of Godzilla.
But Godzilla knows Bacillus is there because that's the whole point he's going to New
Correct.
York.
Yes,
and then it becomes a three-way fight between them because they all hate each other as much as each other.
Amazing.
And so it's like, it's not a two-way fight anymore. It's like a three-way fight and they both try and kill each other and they're constantly switching sides.
Meanwhile, the world media is really obsessed with why the president kept singing her song. And it's like, Godzilla and Mechagodzilla fighting.
I think that's what drives her to go to Japan in the first place because, like, America's on fire with this, like, vitriol. And she's like, well, I have to solve this problem and I have to do it now. And the only thing we can think of is Godzilla's blood.
Or maybe some of the researchers, because potentially like we're looking at we're more of a harmonious scientific community than we're anticipating. So maybe there's like a bit of research going back and forth between all the countries about what they're finding under there. It's not top secret.
Kind of like a WHO.
There you go. And then like for whatever reason, when the breakout happens, Japan's like, oh, we know, like we can show you more. We have a cure. You have to come to us. We can't discuss it on the phone. Plink.
Yeah. No, I really like that. I think that makes a lot of sense. And we just don't have time to do any more than that. Okay, so a plotline is actually, I can't believe it, but it is actually Bacillus versus Godzilla. That's actually now. Is that our A plotline or is that our B plotline? I think it's our A plot.
I think
it's our A.
That's the title fight.
I think it's our B plotline until the second act, and then it becomes our A plotline. Or maybe that A plotline in the
I think it's an A plotline that is dormant until the second act. Much like Bacillus. Oh!
So that's actually what the real film is actually Godzilla versus Bacillus. But
yes,
the kind of human lens is the president being absolutely destroyed by the public over a remedial event.
After the recording this week, Murray and Welch decided to have a debrief and discuss what exactly Bacillus was by looking it up online. this is what they found.
Welsh does research, make a little jingle for it.
I can do that. I'm doing it right now because I recorded that part that you said. Who? What? Why? When? Where? How? Sometimes you just want a little bit more information. And so, Welsh did some research. The bacillus is a bacteria monster who appears in episode 7 of the second season of Godzilla the series. What a long, strange trip it's been. It resembles a round plant with a dull green and blue color scheme on its outside area and a pale beige color on its interior. Bacillus's most notable features are 4 tentacle-like appendages with pink ends and a wide mouth in the middle of its body. A mutated germ that attacked the outskirts of New York City. Coincidence?
God,
The massive bacillus gained the attention of Heat and Godzilla. A battle between the germ and the Monster King began, and the two went at it non-stop. And in the midst of the battle, Bacillus sliced open Godzilla and injected its own mutated bacteria.
Oh my god.
Before the bacteria took a full effect on Godzilla, he dragged Bacillus away and unleashed his atomic fury, but the germ quickly found its endospore barrier, protecting itself from the beam and vanishing beneath the waves, making Heat believe it be dead. Godzilla and Kraven suffered hard from the infection, while Elsie generated a cure for Kraven. Nick and Monique actually headed into Godzilla's body, armed with lasers to take down the infection head-on. At that point, Bacillus returned and headed straight for the New York City water supply, where it could infect the whole city. They used a heat seeker to keep the germ away, and the people inside Godzilla finished off the last of infection, reviving Godzilla, where he quickly rose to the surface and did battle again. Before it could start though, Kraven, now immune to the bacteria due to the antidote, drove a speedboat loaded with the barrel of the antidote into the germ's gaping maw. Jumping out just in time, Kraven watched on as the mutated germ began to dissolve. Godzilla finished off the creature with his atomic fire, and this time it was unable to successfully use its barrier. Bacillus was finished, and the Monster King sneezed out both Nick and Monique, ending the day on a happy note.
It is insane to me how much of that plotline we hit in our movie accidentally. Neither of us knew either of those. Like, we never heard of this monster or what it did or anything else, and yet we hit so many of those notes in our episode. It's actually insane to me.
I cannot believe it landed on Godzilla after it landed on zombies, and we were dealing... Remember when this started and I was like, let's do like a serious, like a West Wing, House of Cards, like a proper political movie. And the universe has sought to prevent that at every turn this week, Murray.
I think that's the nature of our podcast, though. Like, we can afford to start really serious because I don't think any of our wheel spins are in a serious direction.
We'll have to wait and find out. We have opinion, fault, and president are our 3 words. They are still alive. They are still alive. I strongly feel they're still alive.
Yes.
It's the opinion of the public. It's the fault of the president in the public's eyes.
It's also America's fault for pre-releasing Mechagodzilla before actually finding out why the hell Godzilla was doing. Yeah.
But I mean, they couldn't really ask Godzilla, like, hey bro, what you doing? Can't really do that.
Does Japan not have the technology? They've had him under for years.
That's
and Mothra
true.
presumably exists in this universe.
Oh,
They
yeah.
not research Mothra's like telepathic powers.
Oh my god, of course he does. Yeah, dude. Oh my god. All right, cool. This is so freaking awesome.
Okay, we're hanging Welsh. Oh my god, Welsh.
Yeah, quick, go. What have you got?
In the 3rd act, can we have someone come in with a Mothra device so that someone can actually talk to Godzilla and be like, hey, you need to kill Basilisk. We're going to work on getting Mechagodzilla to change its directive, and you both need to kill this thing and then go.
I love it. Okay,
and
what
he's
if,
like, yeah, no worries, dude.
What if a Japanese scientist from Monarch comes with them back for when they get the samples of blood from Godzilla? Because Monarch is like the scientific company sort of doing all this sort of stuff. Fun fact.
Yeah.
Spoilers. Apology. So some Japanese scientists come back with them from Monarch, and they've got like a case, like a metal case, and it's like handcuffed to their hand. And they don't speak a goddamn word to anybody the whole way, right? So you're kind of suspicious of this person. And then they're like, we knew this might happen, or whatever else. And then they like pull out the device, blah, blah, blah.
And it's the Mothra mind control device, or the telepathic communicator. I think what would be a nice homage, what if Godzilla thinks in Japanese? So the only person who can actually communicate to them is the person who comes back from Monarch.
Yep. I like that. Happy days.
And then it becomes Brittany's job to protect them. Brittany gets assigned to the scientist. We need to talk about characters and what the hell they're doing in this movie.
We need to do all the scenes. We need to set everything up like now. Yeah, this is... so A plotline was Bacillus versus Godzilla. B plotline, are we calling that the zombie outbreak? And C is the president dealing with the fallout of her song?
I would say...
I feel like that is the order of severity in this movie. Or are we going back to zombies being the back plot?
Well, no, because I actually think the B plotline is the president trying to save America. I think that's our B plotline because that's what happens for the first half of the film. And I think the zombie stuff is actually part of the A plotline.
Do we have a C plotline then?
There's probably like a romance or a friendship or like a...
Yep. The two PAs.
Something.
The two PAs that we've not had much to do with
yeah,
as of yet.
There'll be like I actually think Brittany is now a main character because she goes with the president to Japan, but then she also comes back and protects the Japanese scientist during all of this. So I think she's actually one of our major characters. And I think maybe it's like her like realizing her own power or like, you know, like finding a place in the world or like her standing up for justice or something. You know what I mean? Like she's a private, she's a shit kicker, but then she becomes like the greatest hero of the modern age.
Yep. Sold. 100% sold.
I think that's our C plot line. I think our C plot line is actually Brittany and Bruce.
Okay, so that's the relationship.
I don't think they're a relationship. I think it's more like discovering your own power or like rising to the occasion. It's the hero's journey. That's what it is.
Got it. Okay, cool. Yeah. So how I was gonna say as well. The opening shot now is not the baseball stadium. The opening shot is actually like a pan over an ocean, and there's like fishing vessels and whatever else, and like islands going by. It's like a fast motion, and all this Japanese text scrolls up on the screen. And then as it scrolls up, it like flickers into English, and it has like the backstory of Godzilla and like what's happening with Godzilla, right? That's how this movie starts. And then the pan ends looking up on the baseball stadium on the coast of whatever state that we're dealing with this in America, and then we still have all that opening shenanigans happen that we exactly have, and when she gets evac from the pitch, it goes boom! It goes Godzilla, home of the brave.
Can I offer you a slight alternative?
Please do, because I don't know how I feel about it now I've said it out loud.
Okay, great. Our film opens the exact same way it normally does. It opens on her singing, that crisis, the virus hitting, all of that is exactly the same. She gets airlifted out. We cut to a newsreel talking about Godzilla wrecking the heck out of Japan 10 years ago.
Anniversary. Perfect.
It's the anniversary, because it's the anniversary. Fantastic. We hint at the Mechagodzilla. America has like an anti-Godzilla plan rumored, but was never substantiated. Couple of different news channels talking about this stuff. Then we cut to the title, Godzilla, Home of the Brave. And then we jump straight into the presidency. We start introducing characters, crisis, problem solving, New York dying, TikTokers, maybe they're already in New York, maybe their TikToker journalist gets trapped in New York, and that's more their story is happening in there, because they're in boots, they're like on the ground, trapped in there. It's more like a Cloverfield style thing. Yep. Then we get the presidency with pulling Bruce and Brittany out, because they get introduced off the back of the TikToker, out of the war zone of New York, sent to Japan, political intrigue, trading the bio weapon for the thing and the scientist. I say the thing, the Godzilla's blood and the scientist. And then they fly back to New York to start developing that. God, we're missing some characters. Interns, something's going to happen with them. Don't know yet. Come back to them. Circle back around. I don't know if you have a noise for that, but circle back around, Future World. And then, God, there's so much to try and juggle.
I think it's going fine.
Japan does the thing, and they wake up Godzilla.
End of Act 1.
Yeah, they insert the virus into Godzilla.
His eye opens up.
And it's a zoom up. Yes, it's a zoom up on the eye, and the eye just goes pop. And that's the end of Act 1.
And it's like an Inception wah noise. Listeners, you know what? Future Welsh, put that sound effect in, please, to demonstrate.
I think we also have to have like a massive shot of like a Godzilla swimming through the ocean and like really dramatic, like
Next act. Yeah.
Dune style music. Have you seen Dune Part 2?
Not or Part 1 or the original.
Okay. The horns in that are like, and we should have that as Godzilla. It's like swimming towards America.
Yeah. I'm sure there's Godzilla sound effects for this sort of stuff. Welsh, Future Welsh, put in some Godzilla noises.
Yeah, there's the very famous Godzilla roar.
That's pretty good.
The one.
Oh, I'm cutting that. Gotta love being the editor as well. I'm just gonna insert the actual sound effect over
Straight
what I
over.
just did. That's just for you. You're the only person that hears that, Murray. Listeners, subscribe to our Patreon. You get access to. Okay, end of Act 1 is Godzilla's eyes opening. End of Act 1. Act 2. How do we open Act 2? Is Act 2 just gonna like open on like more people fired up about the president's singing? Like, just to really hammer home that, like, all this shit is going on, but still, like, all these news channels and people are just talking about, she's still not addressed it, oh my god, like, she's embarrassed,
Yeah.
what a weak leader.
Yeah, Godzilla is literally swimming towards America, and, like, people on the ocean, fishermen and stuff, have seen Godzilla on the way, and they still don't care.
Yep. The PAs.
Can you quickly remind me of our characters, just so I can get we got Charlie, Britt, Bruce, Hunter, the 2 interns, and
Jerry the VP. Don't
Jerry
forget
the
Jerry,
VP.
baby. Maybe he's got involvement in the Mechagodzilla. I don't know. Because he's been around.
Does the president die in this version? And Jerry has to take over, and he's like very pro Mecha Godzilla.
And he's got like a necklace with a key, and he just puts it in like a panel, and like this big bunker opens up, and Mecha Godzilla comes up.
So does Charlie get impeached when she's going to Japan? Oh no, that's going to take time.
It is.
Something
too much
has to
time.
happen to Charlie.
Maybe Jerry dies.
No, I think Charlie dies and Jerry takes over because he's pro Mecha Godzilla, and that's why Mecha Godzilla comes out.
Okay. Oh, what if she gets just injured? By the way, that's the time. We've got 4.5 minutes. What if Charlie gets injured or infected?
Yes, she comes back. They're doing the stuff. She gets bitten. She can no longer be the president. Jerry takes over. Jerry becomes the president. Somehow the interns are oh, I got it. Okay, Jerry becomes the president. He releases Mechagodzilla. Then the big fight happens. And it becomes like a 3-way party split where Brittany and the scientist, we need a name. Akira, good enough. Yep, that's the first Japanese that came to my mind. Because it's a very famous one.
I had Toshiba, so yeah, you're good.
Mitsubishi. So they go to try and communicate with Godzilla. So they have to try and get to a vantage point.
So yeah,
that's what their whole. Wait.
Oh no.
I have to get it out of my brain. Okay, they get to a vantage point to try and communicate with Godzilla. Meanwhile, the 2 interns, they have a connection to one of these characters. Don't know how, but they're like, we're going to try and talk to Godzilla. You have to shut down Mechagodzilla. And they're like, don't worry, I know people who can do that. That's the 2 interns. So their whole thing is trying to get to the vice president to be like, Vice President, you got to turn Mechagodzilla off because Godzilla's got this. Go.
I was just going to say that we need to announce that Godzilla is approaching at some stage. So maybe once
Definitely.
Charlie's
I'm
bitten...
talking about Act 3. I'm so sorry.
Oh, me. Okay, well, I was saying that when Charlie's got bitten and the president takes over, it could be like, Mr. President, the rumors were true. Japan was developing a super weapon. It is Godzilla. They've sent him after us. They know we're weak. And then he's like, that's fine. And turns on Mechagodzilla.
Yes.
I've prepared for
Okay,
this.
so Act 2 is them coming back, President getting infected, dying, whatever. Jerry taking over. Mechagodzilla gets turned on. That's the end of Act 2.
Yeah, with Mechagodzilla's eye opening.
Right.
Yes, turning on like a red light.
Yes, 100%. And then the third act is what I was explaining before. Those plot lines where the city is being torn apart. Those three monsters are fighting. Britt and Akira go to Godzilla. So they have like a Cloverfield style run through the city. Maybe they run into Hunter, because we have to bring Hunter back in.
I like that. Yeah, he's surviving. We haven't revealed Godzilla yet. So maybe Mechagodzilla is like, he meets Godzilla like on the shore and is like fighting him off. That's when the interns are like, no, like there's more to this. Like, or like someone's used the communicator with Godzilla before Mechagodzilla arrives, finds out I'm here to stop a worse thing. Like, get out of my way, you ants. There's an enemy of mine. Mechagodzilla comes in. They're like, no, like let him pass. That whole thing happens. But then before Godzilla actually gets to Basilla, the fucking tremors and the vibrations of the fight awakens Basilla, and it like explodes up, releases a bunch more spores.
I think they need to have a fight. I think they need to have a three-way fight.
Mechagodzilla and Godzilla?
No, before Mechagodzilla comes out, I think Mechagodzilla meets Godzilla, they fight, and Godzilla is kind of like dodging and rolling and fighting, but making his way towards Basilla. And then during that fight, rips Basilla out of the ground, right, exposing Basilla, and then they have the three-way fight, and then that's when Brittany and Akira and Hunter make their way to Godzilla to communicate while during this three-way fight. And then he's like, this thing is the worst thing. We have to kill this thing. It's going to destroy everyone.
Yep.
And then that's when the interns try and turn Mechagodzilla around, because there's still this three-way fight. The interns end up succeeding. Godzilla and Mechagodzilla work together to rip Basilla apart. Basilla dies.
And that's how they cure the infection as well, because Basilla's like the hive controller of the virus.
Yeah.
Maybe the only way to stop Basilla, because it's a bacteria and it keeps like growing and like evolving or expanding, they basically pick it up and drag it into the ocean. And we have like Godzilla or Mechagodzilla, one of them, like holding onto
Bacteria
Basilla.
famously thrives in the ocean.
Well, Mechagodzilla activates its thrusters on its feet and launches the f***er into space.
Into space? That's actually really good, because then we get rid of Mechagodzilla.
And then to really do it, Godzilla does his energy beam breath and like blows up Mechagodzilla and Basilla like once it's out of the atmosphere.
Great.
That's time. Oh my god. I kind of love it.
Yeah, very.
It's cool.
I can't believe we finally got a Godzilla film.
I can't believe we managed to make all those characters, still keeping the theme, still keeping the zombies. We figured out a cure to the zombie situation in the last minute.
Yep.
Nice little resolution. Mate.
Yeah. Give me a cigarette.
Yeah. I'm almost speechless, and that's very rare for me. I'm trying to think of some way to wrap up this episode and talk about what we did instead of just going goodbye, everybody. I'm going to bed.
This is I think it's nice that we kept the title the whole way through.
We did too, because it's Godzilla, Home of the Brave. That's oh man, because it's Godzilla in America as well, the Home of the Brave. Yep. I think one fun thing that should happen when Mechagodzilla is flying up into space, they play the like it's an orchestral version or musical version of the anthem.
The Star Spangled Banner.
Yeah, that's the one. Thank you. I know the lyrics, but I know what it's called. And then as it says "Home of the Brave," it's like the Godzilla roar over the city.
Oh my god, how have you done that twice? So good. Which one was your favorite film?
I'm not gonna lie, it's what we ended with. I can't believe it's Godzilla. Yeah, I can't believe we managed to pull that off.
I think that
me.
was the most fun to make, but I think my favorite film is still the first one.
All right, well, I'm reeling, and I'm the only thing I can say is that I'm sad that zombies and Godzilla are both gone off the wheel. I know we've got a lot of other stuff on there, don't get me wrong, but Jesus, those are 2 top-tier categories in my eyes. I was so excited for both
Don't you worry,
of them.
there's still lots of stupid stuff left to come on the wheel. Things like a James Bond film or alchemy is real. Could you play the spoilers? Thank you. It's not a warning.
It's an apology. Yeah.
That'll be coming up in future episodes. But in the meantime, could you please give us a peer-reviewed performance review amongst your friends and family? If you could get me at YHurryMurray, Welsh at SA Welshie, or the podcast at Scripty Business. I'm sure we'll have an Instagram one day as well.
In particular, can you review my Godzilla noise? Because I'm getting really good at it.
Yes.
Here we go again. Beautiful.
It is actually getting better every time, which is pretty good. I'm pretty impressed. Well, I think there's just one thing left to do, and that's... That sounds like a zombie, actually.
Yeah, it does. I'm going to use that for the zombie scenes when we're doing the flash. So that noise will stay. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Murray. We'll catch you next time. Whew.
This episode was edited by Luke Wilkinson Turner. The intro music was provided by Facilian Studios. The artwork was made by Justin MacArthur. This has been a Scripty Business production. Talk shit, think quick, and remember, we love you.